Hey, music friends. We're in another Wildwood, I'm going to say expedition.
That's great.
I'm here with Shane Johnson. Put her there. Grip it. Shake it. He's from Iowa. I'm from Wisconsin. You know what that means? It means we got the heartland covered with secretional humor.
More fluid.
More
Great.
fluid
More
is
fluid.
always good.
Great.
Now, you find yourself on the road with Imagine Dragons.
Yes, sir.
And you are involved with the guitar rig of doom, which
Yes.
we are phalanxed by here. Like that?
I do like that.
That wasn't secretional, but it was more kind of Roman military.
Right, yeah. No, you got that word of day toilet paper kicking.
Yeah, right.
Words.
You heard it here first. Now, tell us a little bit about your day-to-day thing. Tell us a little bit about the adventure that is this tour that you're on, which is quite lengthy, as I understand it.
Yes. It is quite lengthy. We've been out now on this leg for 2 months, but basically been home about 2 weeks this year. Different legs of the tour: South America, Mexico, different parts of the world, taking this
Rig
around.
of Doom.
Rig of Doom, I guess that's what it's called now. Rig of Doom.
Rig-a-doom.
Yeah. So, and been doing that for, I've been with the group now for 2 years, guitar teching and building.
Can I ask you something just right from the get-go?
Yes.
I saw an instrument earlier on that looked like it could be part of the defense mechanism for the Elven army during the Lord of the Rings conflicts.
Yes.
Something Legolas might be brandishing in the heat of battle. Might we see this golden lariat that lurks inside this?
Was it this one here?
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, this is made by the wonderful gentleman at Built Guitars in Des Moines, Iowa. Again, more Midwest love. It is indeed not metal. It is wood. I believe it is is it an ash body? You remember on this? Yeah, it's either ash or alder. Sorry, Tim. Sorry, Bill. Maple neck, and then they send it to this gentleman who applies this coating on here that has
Was his name R2-D2?
It isn't, but it should have been. And it is quite, but it is the bane of my existence. You look at it and it scratches, but it's got Fralin twang masters in it.
Nice.
Yep.
I actually thought it was a Fano when I first saw it.
Nope, built.
Built.
So, yep, they kind of did. They took the Starcaster headstock design and just took it to a whole nother level, really.
Indeed.
So, but yeah, that's actually the most straight ahead, as ridiculous as that sounds, guitar that he owns.
Now there's another one that's got all kinds of stuff built into it, correct?
Yes. Nice pun with the built.
Right?
Right. Actually stands for Bill and Tim.
Mm-hmm.
So, but
Look at this thing.
Yeah.
This is MacGyvered to the max.
Well, they had a deal on switches, so they went ahead and went with it. But it has
bargain's a bargain.
It has an MXR carbon copy delay built into it. Built's version of a fuzz factory. It's basically a fuzz factory with oscillation and everything. And then it's got the sustainer with fundamental, second order, and harmonic switch. But the cool thing is when one kill switch isn't enough, he has two in this.
So you can go.
Actually, one is pre-delay and one is post-delay. So if he wants to mute the guitar and have the delay trails off or do like the oscillation thing, he can do that. So it's got a Sir pickup in it, Sir SSV Plus pickup in the bridge. And it's all the craziness is powered by a pedal train Volto.
That's ridiculous.
That we run 9 volts through the ring of the cable down.
And you were saying that the lighting engineer of your ensemble gets vexed with you because of the blue light.
Yes, it is.
I could see where that would be a real show crusher.
It really is.
Now, I was really enjoying the show until the strap light.
Well, there was letters to management. There were some people. There was, so, yeah, there was an issue. That was a lie. No, they're over it now. So, but yeah, that's that. And then the other crazy, this one here has
Look at that.
Chord Chaos pad mounted in the front.
Well, what can you do with this?
It actually, he sets it up with a couple filters. You just pull the switch out here to activate the Chaos pad, and it sends a guitar signal through this, so then he can do like low pass filters or all sorts of craziness, a la kind of Muse style. Has a kill switch in it as well, sustainer, and then this one has the Death by Audio robot pedal built into it. So, and yeah, that one's fairly insane.
So in this day and age, not only do you have to know how to just play the damn thing, you got to have a MacGyver bent to you.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Where are things going? I can't take it.
It's for him. He likes to create sounds like at the guitar instead of like reaching down to a pedal board and doing so. So any of like,
Does
it's
he make those noises?
No, it's the face he makes.
All right.
It is.
Well, I was close.
So no, he yeah. So any of the oscillation stuff he does right there at the guitar. So
Which is fun.
yeah, yep.
I can dig it. And we've got some Gibsones in there. I
Yes.
see lurking. These are your instruments, are they not?
Yeah, we've got actually we've got a couple Gibsons on the way. We have a 57 like this. This is my personal guitar. He fell in love with it, so it got adopted into the boat. And this one has actually bare knuckle black dogs in it right now for pickups. But he uses this on a song. We have it tuned down a full step.
Tuned down a full step for maximum pop-up rumble rate.
It's and actually through the rig, it's on that particular patch because we're running a wet dry wet rig. The 1 amp is an octave up through the Eventide, 1 amp is an octave down, and then the fundamental. So it's pretty freaking wide sounding. So
I always wondered with ensembles such as this.
Mm-hmm.
You're cruising along, you're a club band, all of a sudden things start to take off. At what point does a guitar player go, you know what, I need to have like all this kind of Starship Enterprise stuff in order to slap cheek and leave a mark? You know what I mean?
I basically for the first year and a half we had a fundamental pedal board with just a Line 6 M9 on and a couple pedals, and then when he was in the studio, he did like a wet dry sound with the old Voxes and one of the Eventide 7600s, and he really wanted to take that on the road. So he called me up and he's just like,
Let's make it happen.
How do we get this on the road? And the first thing I said was, well, either a Fractal or a Kemper, we could do that.
Oh yeah.
You know, but you know, as I said before, it's fun. So, and he really wanted to do the old vintage Vox amp.
So tell us a little bit about what we got over here. I will kind of lurk this way.
The amps are two 64 Vox AC30s and a 67 Vox AC30. The two 64s there on the bottom and the middle actually have top boost kits added by Plexi Palace, or we got them from Plexi Palace, and then we had Jimmy Sama at Samatone Amps install them.
Mm-hmm.
Great dude. And then and also a place in Vegas called Thermal Relief. They do a lot of our amp work when we're on the road. Great guys out there. And then so that's doing the lion's share of the lifting. Those 3 amps. Actually, the one in the center, which is our dry, raw Vox amp. That one's doing the lion's share of it.
And then where's our friend the small box come in?
That's when things get really angry.
Yes.
There's a couple patches where, like on where it's heavier tones, the Voxes sound great, but they just don't do the Marshall thing like what Friedman has done forever, and the small box 50 just nails it. And we're running that through a Whiskey 65 cab with Celestian Heritage 30s in the back there.
And we should mention that all the cabinets are beneath the stage.
Yes. Yeah, we hide everything underneath there. It gets loud, so we hide everything back there. The Voxes are actually running through hand-wired Vox AC, or hand-wired Vox 212s with Celestian Blues in them. So all 3 of those guys get their own separate 212 cabinet. So, but that's the amp, and all of the processing, anything that is delay, reverb, harmonizing, anything of that ilk is all done through the Eventide 7600s or the H9, which is a great unit. The reason we're using the 7600s and not 3 H9s is because we actually use the 7600s in the studio.
Okay.
And so we just took the patches, literally, that he wrote in the studio with his engineer. I went out, copied them, and put them into these units.
Yeah.
So what he used in the studio is in the rack. And then everything is routed through this Sound Sculpture Switchblade GL, and that allows you just to do if you can imagine a routing scheme, however you want to run, whatever pedal you want to run to whatever amp, if you want to run all your pedals in parallel, if you want to run it, you think of it, it'll do it. So to do this rig where we're splitting the signal between the Eventides, 3 different Eventide units, the Friedman, a total of 4 different amps, that was the only way we could do it. That's the only device that I know of that does that. So
cool.
All of the fuzzy stuff, the drives, live on this drawer here. Analog Man King of Tone, that is the drive pedal that he goes to the most. That is the one he uses all the time. The Klon, it's the Klon.
Clean boost.
Yep, nailed it. And then we use the Paul Cochran Timmy on a couple patches. A great sounding drive, works wonderful with pretty much every amp we've ever threw into it. Timmy. And then this guy floating back here right now.
Another clone.
That's another clone from Ion Electronics, but that has become the pedal du jour spot. So if he's feeling like some other drive, we can throw it in there, and we don't have to reroute anything. It's just in there, and there's actually a switch on the. If he goes to another page, it says pedal du jour, and he can just hit it, and if he's feeling frisky.
Oh, this little morsel, the decimator.
The ISP decimator, when all the drives get kicked on, like that, I throw the ISP on to get rid of that sound.
Oh,
so
okay.
it's on certain patches where he's kitchen sinking it, where there's one patch where all 4 amps are going, both sides of the King of Tone, the Klon and the Timmy are all thundering at once. And without that, it's
a noise factory.
It's hell on earth. So the ISP tames that. On this shelf, this is some silliness. Basically, this is everything that is before the volume pedal. So
okay.
Fuzzes don't like to see volume pedals or be post-volume pedals. So we like the ZVX Fuzz Factory we have in front of there. We're using the Wampler Ego compressor.
This always sounded to me like Alien Rake.
Oh yeah, you nailed it.
Not that I know what that sounds like.
No, but if you had to put words to it, that's exactly what I would say. Right. No. Way to verbalize that.
Well.
So then he uses the Pog 2 on a couple patches for the organy sounds. Voodoo Labs Micro Vibe. But then the weird synth sounds are all done through this Electro Harmonics Super Ego. So yeah, and that's all the stuff that's before the volume rig.
Cool.
And then the last drawer is basically that H9 and a Digitech Whammy that we have MIDI'd to the control board there. So that way, literally no signal goes up to the front of the stage. All the signal's here. The only thing that runs up there is a MIDI cable and a long cable for the tuner. So there's no signal that goes to the front of the stage, and it keeps all the runs nice and tidy. And
so in a gig like this where there's 2 opening bands, here's this pedal board, they get done doing their thing, you just take this up there, pop it down.
Yep. And actually, the beauty of the RJM stuff is I phantom power it through a MIDI cable. So I don't even have a power drop up there or anything like that. I plug in the MIDI cable, powers it, done. That's it. So
excellent.
Yep. And then the little board there on the top is only for acoustic processing. So
let's see some fine Fishman products here.
Yes.
What? Sorry, a little shout out to my Fishman friends.
You had to do it.
What?
I know.
And these are Aura boxes. They're scrumdiddlyicious. I just popped off my microphony. But that was kind of an aside, really, that part. So let me ask you this. So you're in Des Moines. How do you get hooked up with a gig like this?
Actually, I was buddies with the guys at Built. They're another friend of theirs, this guy named Brandon Darner, who is in a band called the Envy Corps, fairly popular indie rock band. When Wayne was looking for a tech, he's like, I need a nerd. I need somebody that understands.
No self-deprecation here, doggone it.
No, it's
you gotta say they were looking for a bold stallion.
Nerd.
With nerd tendencies.
Nerd with bold stallion tendencies. Let's just say it. Let's flip it around. Give me something. You're so much taller. You got to give me something. So they're like, you need to meet the Shane guy, and I talked to him on the phone, and we just talked dry because my boss Wayne is a guitar nerd in the highest order as well. So
that was that.
That was kind of that. So hence my first touring gig.
And you've been out now with them for how long?
2 years.
2 years.
Yep.
Good God Almighty.
Yeah. So.
With no end in sight.
Really, no. They continue to play these really big clubs like this, So there's a bar here, so I can call it a club. But yeah, that's what they do. So cool. Great group of guys to work for. Super nice. I don't have to say that, but they are actually super nice dudes. Yeah, good dudes to work for.
Because it could be not the case.
It couldn't, and
you'd still have to say that.
I know, I would, but no, they're super good dudes to work for. So
excellent.
Yeah.
And now, where are they from?
They're based out of Las Vegas.
Okay.
So, yep, that's where the band is based from. That's where they got their start. They actually, these guys, they, treasured out in the clubs. They were playing, 5-6 hours a night in casinos, playing cover tunes, and like throw in an original, and that's how they, just like everybody else hones their craft. You know, they just did it night after night after night. So
they did their 10,000 hours.
They did their, you know, their 10 years of in like 2 years, because they're just doing the Vegas Strip night after night for 5-6 hours. So I give them kudos to that. They actually they put the rubber to the road and did it. So, you know,
I like all of it. I like the sound of all of it. Well, so much fun here. Thank you for having us and giving us the lowdown on all of these glorious devices and about what you do here. We appreciate it. And you go back with Steve Stewart, our own Steve Stewart.
Yes, Steve and I are old pals. Glad that he's working out at Wildwood now. It's a great shop. It's a stellar shop.
Well, he's a great addition to the to the core.
We got a chance. We actually went there the other night and perused, you know. Yeah,
it's like a candy store.
It's insane.
A little more expensive than your average candy store, but just as delightful.
Yeah, Kevin and I were the bass tech. Kevin Neal and I were buddies with Steve. Steve was showing us around, and he's like, "What do you want to see?" It's like, "Do you have this?" And he's like, he comes back 3 minutes later and pops out of the case. And it's like, Jesus. Yeah. It's insane. I'm giggling now.
So, I shoot the videos all day long, and then I go back to the store, and I still do that.
Yeah.
Like, hey, let's see one of those. It's like endless guitar nerddom.
It really is.
But you know, as I like to say, it beats Jaeger and Blow, as far as we want to say on camera. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But Blow is good.
Well,
just kidding. Don't do Blow.
Nougat.
Drugs are bad.
Booger sugar.
Don't do it.
We don't endorse any of that
No,
stuff.
a lot of meth. Don't do meth. So,
right?
Yeah, it's bad. So,
well, Shane, thank you so much for giving us the tour, and good luck with your endeavors.
Appreciate it, sir. Thank you.
See you on down the road. Greg Koch for Wildwood Vision. See you later.